Roger Stone joins me now. Roger, thanks for joining us today, even though you're a bit under the weather.
Owen, great to be back. I apologize for having to jump offline here for a moment, but the sources are calling around the clock to try to fill in the blanks on this extraordinary sequence of events. I can now tell the Infield Warrior audience that the reports roughly a week ago that General Flynn's legal team had cut off communications with the president's lawyers turns out to be exactly backwards. It was the president's lawyers who told Flynn's lawyers, we're no longer going to be communicating with you. In other words, they cut Mike Flynn off. In the meantime, the FBI has put inexorable personal and financial pressure on him. In the crosshairs is Michael Flynn's son, Michael Flynn Jr., a particular target for the FBI because when the Obama administration fired the counterterrorism expert Robin Greitz, General Flynn came to Greitz's defense. Greitz was the target of Andrew McCabe, the FBI deputy director, and we now know that it was at that point that former CIA Director Woolsey went first to Vice President Joe Biden with his tall tale about Mike Flynn being involved in the plans to secretly extradite a radical Turkish cleric who has been holed up in the Pennsylvania Poconos and has been charged with inciting the coup in Turkey that failed. When Woolsey showed up at Biden's office in an attempt to download this nugget of lies against Mike Flynn, who should be there but Susan Rice and Ben Rhodes of the Obama administration, the high command of the Obama NSA. So the Turkish pressure that was fomented by Woolsey, who I believe is projecting, he's the one who was involved in the plans to extradite and kidnap the Turkish cleric, not Mike Flynn. The financial pressure and the raid on Flynn's office by the FBI in December, that is the handiwork of Andrew McCabe and Andrew Weissman of the Robert Mueller strike force, is the incident in which Flynn is charged with lying to the FBI about being directed to reach out to the Russian ambassador. That's the nugget of this. What they're charging him with is lying about being directed to reach out to the Russian ambassador. I would point out, of course, that reaching out to the Russian ambassador is part of his job.
Right.
Perfectly legal. Having no conversations with people on the other side of the globe who have nuclear weapons, a very bad idea. It's very clear that the new president wanted to engage the Russians. It's called peace. What we're trying to achieve is peace as opposed to war. So Flynn, who I really believe is a patriot, and who informed us here at InfoWars last week was holding out under this enormous pressure, he has finally been broken by the combination of financial pressure and being cut off entirely by the White House.
So it seems to me you've got a situation where you have a witch hunt, and I'll get into the deep state civil war that I think is going on after I bring this to you, Roger, but it seems like here's the situation. You've got the witch hunt by Mueller's gang coming after everything and anything related to Trump. They go after Flynn. They're coming at him like rabid attack dogs saying, what do you know about Russia? What did Trump do? Russia. And so Flynn is like, whoa, hey, like nobody told me to do anything with Russia. Nobody told me to collude with Russia. Nobody's directing shots here to make any moves because of Russia or anything like that. You know, don't worry. No, Trump's not telling me to collude with Russia. So then it's like, okay, that's his statement. Then maybe they illegally wiretap him, calling Trump in Trump Tower or something like that, get a transcript. So then down the line, They raid his home, they intimidate him, they freak him out, and then they say, oh, what did Trump tell you? What did Trump tell you? He's like, well, he just told me to meet with Kislyak. He just told me to go have a meeting. That's my job. That's my job. We got Flynn. We got Flynn. We got him now. And then the press runs with it. Flynn, Russia, Trump, Russia. It's all real. It's all real. Is that pretty much what happened here?
Well, that was an excellent Alex Jones impression, first of all. We're both learning from the master. Yeah, I think you summed that just the way Alex would. The truth is that this is all procedural, but the real, I think, pathetic thing here is, and I can't stress this enough, is Mike Flynn is a lifetime soldier. He's not a politician. He's not a diplomat. He's a military man. He was well suited for the national security job. He has not accumulated great wealth during his service to his country. The man is penniless. He's broke. He does not know how he's going to eat dinner tonight, and they're squeezing him, and no one is coming to his rescue. He is just physically, mentally, and financially exhausted. The last straw was being betrayed by the president's lawyers. The people around Flynn tell me this definitively. The president is getting terrible legal advice. He's next. He needs to wake up to the fact that he's next. That's the message.
So what is next, though, for Flynn? I mean, this doesn't do anything for the Trump-Russia collusion theory. I mean, this really doesn't do anything other than giving the media something to run with here to try to build this back up.
Well, I think you put it best. Aha, you see? The president told Flynn to set up a meeting with the Russians. We got him. Meaningless. Yeah. It's horse crap. It doesn't matter. Of course he did. That is his job. Once the election was over and Trump was the president-elect, he has the authority to have a back channel with the Russians. You may remember this media cycle. Oh, Jared Kushner was trying to establish a back channel with the Russians. Yes, he was. That's legal. That's perfectly appropriate. Even if the president told him, sorry, Obama, you're out. Donald Trump is in. He can have diplomatic relationships with any country he wishes. By the way, Obama had a back channel with the Iranians.
Oh, yeah.
A big news cycle on that. Where were the big stories on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, Hillary Clinton obviously had a back channel, too, to make the Uranium One deal. Roger, before you jump off here in just a couple minutes, I just want to know, it seems to me, I want to know your intel on this. It seems to me the overall picture, the overall landscape shaping up in my understanding right now is that what you basically had was under the Obama administration and all the corruption and all the crime that was going on there with him and his cabinet, you basically, and even dating back years before this with McCabe and Mueller and their cohorts and their crimes, which Flynn may or may not have been privy to some of that. So now that Trump gets in, not Clinton, they're freaking out. They think somebody might actually call them out. They have a president in the United States that's not colluding with them in their crimes, and they're freaking out because Flynn might have some intel. Is this like the deep state civil war that's going on right now with Mueller and McCabe trying to cover up for all the crimes over the last 8+ years?
I think we have to recognize that General Flynn fell out very badly with the Obama administration. That's why former CIA Director Woolsey, a veteran deep stater, was promulgating this Turkish myth, clearly in coordination with brain-dead Joe Biden and the criminals Susan Rice and Ben Rhodes. I call them criminals because they knowingly use the NSA and the FBI to surveil American citizens for political purposes. Rhodes needs to be indicted. Rice needs to be indicted. Clapper, Brennan. See, wiretapping people in violation of the law and the Constitution, that's a serious crime, far more serious than, say, what happened at Watergate. Yeah, there do need to be some FBI raids, no question. I recommend the offices of Rice, Clapper, Brennan, Rhodes, et al. They violated Roger Stone, my civil rights. Would somebody please call over to the Justice Department and wake the Attorney General up? Get him out of bed. See what he's doing. Sadly, I think the answer is nothing.
That's Roger Stone, as usual, bringing us the exclusive story. And we bring you the news, tomorrow's news, next week's news, next month's news, next year's news, today We told you they'd come after Trump with the 25th Amendment. Now they're doing it. Now they're coming after Flynn. This whole thing is a total farce. Thank you, Roger Stone. We'll be right back on the other side. James O'Keefe will be joining.